Hello, everybody. Today we will cover the topic punctuation marks. So now let us move on to the topics covered in today's video. Full stop, exclamation mark, question mark, ellipsis, apostrophe, comma, quotation marks, parenthesis, hyphen, colon, and semicolon. So without further ado, let us start off with full stop, which is also called as the period. A full stop is a type of punctuation mark. So the sentence which I just read, yes, it is a sentence. But what does it end with? It ends with a punctuation mark. What is that called as? You're right. It's called the full stop. It is used for several purposes, most often to mark the end of a declarative sentence. It represents a long pause and separation between sentences. For example, I will be going to the party. She will be there too. The uses of full stop. It is used to end a sentence. For example, my mother works in a hospital. Exclamation mark. An exclamation mark is used after a sentence that is an interjection or exclamation. If you want to understand more about interjections, then go ahead, check out my video about it. It is used in sentences that express strong feelings. For example, how hot it is today. Uses of exclamation mark. Exclamation marks can be used at the end of a sentence that is an interjection or exclamation. An exclamation mark can also be used within a sentence after words or phrases that express sudden emotion or wishes. Let's now move on to question mark. I'm sure all of you know what it is about, but let's recall. A question mark is used at the end of a sentence that is a question or is in the interrogative form. For example, where is your house? The uses of question mark, just like how I told you, it is used at the end of a sentence that is a question or framed in the interrogative form. Question marks are not used after an indirect question. Question marks may be used within a sentence. This occurs at the end of a question within the sentence, and the question mark replaces the comma. Let's now move on to ellipsis. An ellipsis refers to a set of 3 dots at the baseline of the text that indicates the omission of words in the sentence. I am not sure. Maybe I'll come tomorrow. An ellipsis may be used to show the omission of words at the end of a sentence. For example, he lived in a small hut at the end of the street. This sentence may be shortened to, he lived in a small hut, and then the ellipsis. Let's now move on to comma. So here we have a lot of uses of a comma. Let's go through it. The comma may be used to separate a series of words in the same sentence. A comma may be used to separate a pair of words. A comma may be used before and after a phrase in apposition. The comma may be used before and after the name of a person when that person is addressed. The comma may be used to mark off 2 or more adverbs or adverbial phrases. A comma is used to indicate the omission of a word. A comma may be used to separate short coordinate clauses of a compound sentence. A comma may be used before or after a direct quotation. So basically, comma is when you require a pause in a sentence, but not a long pause. It needs to continue the sentence. To stop a sentence, you can use question mark, full stop, or exclamation mark. Exclamation mark can be also used in between a sentence. But a comma cannot be used to end a sentence. It is only used for a short pause in a sentence. Let's now move on to colon. A colon may be used to introduce a quotation. A colon can be used before enumeration or a list of examples. A comma may be used to connect sentences which are grammatically independent but closely connected in sense. For example, he said, I may not be free today. Let's move on to semicolon. A semicolon may be used to separate the clauses of a compound sentence when they contain a comma. A semicolon may be used to separate loosely related clauses. For example, her dream was achieved. There was nothing else she had wanted. If you notice carefully, this is a semicolon, which you can replace with a comma. Her dream was achieved. You can use a comma here and continue. There was nothing else she had wanted. Let's now move on to inverted comma. Inverted commas are used to enclose the exact words of a speaker. Inverted commas are used to enclose a quotation within a quotation. In this case, a quotation within a quotation is enclosed within single quotation marks, while the external quotation is enclosed within double quotation marks. Both of them are inverted commas, just that there are two types, single and double quotation marks. So take a look at the sentence. She said, I expect a no from my father. So this is the sentence she said, which you put in double quotation marks. Now, if she directly told you, I expect a no from my father, you just need single quotation marks for the no. But when you are explaining this to someone, she said, I expect a no from my father. Let's now understand more about hyphen. A hyphen or a short dash may be used to connect parts of a compound word. A hyphen may be used to connect parts of a word divided at the end of a line. For example, I am their daughter-in-law. So daughter-in-law, it contains two hyphens. Dash. So please make sure there's a big difference between hyphen and dash. Also, the symbol is slightly different. You can notice that dash is a little longer and its use is also different. There are two types of dash, M dash and N dash. A dash may be used to indicate an abrupt stop or change in thought. A dash may be used to resume a scattered subject. A dash may be used before or after parenthetical elements. For example, so instead of using parentheses, only in some cases I am talking about. So you can use parentheses, right? When you want to explain something which is not required in the sentence. So if some person does not know about it, like who is this dog or her name is something. So that time you can put that in parentheses. Dashes can replace parentheses in this kind of use. My family found a dog and took it home. So mostly when you want to explain about the dog, you can say who was very weak and starving. You put that in the parentheses. So you can replace that with the dash. I hope you understood more about that. Let's move on to apostrophe. An apostrophe may be used to show the omission of a letter or letters from a word. An apostrophe may be used while forming the plural of letters and figures. An apostrophe may be used to form the genitive case for nouns. In the case of a singular noun, it is followed by an S. In the case of a plural noun ending in S, it is not followed by any letter. Now, let's move on to capital letters. This is very easy and fun to know about. Capital letters may be used to begin a sentence. So the first letter of the first word in the sentence must be capital if you have put a full stop. So it's beginning a new sentence, right? Capitals may be used to begin each new line of poetry. Capital letters may be used to indicate proper nouns and the adjectives derived from them. Capital letters are used to write the pronoun I and the interjection O. Capital letters may be used for nouns and pronouns indicating the deity. Now it's exercise time. Rewrite the sentences with the correct punctuation marks. I am going to the party. Do you want to come with me? So here's an example. You need to capitalize I here because it's not only the beginning of the sentence, but also, yes, I had told you there are a few exceptions. I and O must be capitalized at all times. So I am going to the party, and then there is a comma because you need a short pause there. I am going to the party. Do you want to come with me? So it is your choice. If you want, you can put a full stop there. If you want, you can put a comma there. I think it would be more appropriate to put a full stop. That would be more accurate. I am going to the party and then a full stop. Do you want to come with me? So again, the D of the do must be capitalized. Do you want to come with me? So that is a question, right? You need to end this whole thing with a question mark. Who are you? What do you want from me? Oh no, I lost again. Go and fill this water bottle. What is Tim's phone number? I hope you can do the rest of the questions on your own. Select the correct answer. All of the people at the school, including the teachers and Dash, were glad when summer break came. So of course, it is teachers and students, but what sign are you going to put, or what mark, punctuation mark are you going to put after students? So I think B option is incorrect because there has to be something, right? All of the people at the school, including the teachers and the students, were glad. No, I don't think that would be correct. Yes, even option A, I don't think that would be correct because the use of a colon is not what it is in that sentence given there. Yes, the correct answer is option B. So we need a short pause after including the teachers and the students. Therefore, it is option B. All of the people at the school, including the teacher and students, were glad when summer break came. Sit up straight. You can do that on your own. It's very easy. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon. Take care. Bye.